It is time. The reckoning is here. Championship week of the 2025 fantasy football season. We got 4 days of injury-riddled football to get through. Hopefully not. Welcome to Fantasy Whiplash. Somebody play the music, please. It's me. I'll play the music. What is up? What is up? What is up? It is a Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It can only be time for one thing, and that's Fantasy Whiplash. So, thank you. We appreciate that very much. Oh, gosh. Please sit down. Please sit down. Sit down. That's fine. Oh, thank you. Oh man, I am back again. Maybe for the final time this fantasy season. The jury is still out on whether I will cater to the real special people that have a championship next week. But for right now, I am joined by, once again, the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO and owner of Yards Per Fantasy at yardsperfantasy.com. His name is Alex Johnson. That's right. They seem to they really like you. Alex, how are you, man?
It's championship week. I've never been better. Championship week is the greatest week.
That's right. Well, we've both got some games. We're both involved in some leagues.
I got
what percentage of my leagues I'm involved in.
I got fitted for my future championship rings today, so I'm good to go.
Oh, did you? Wow. Yeah. That's nice. Well, I did not get fitted for any I suck at fantasy football singlets, so I guess, I'm ahead of the game. So, look who it is. Angie Hatfield, bright and early. Aren't you eating dinner right now? Alex, you want to tell people where they can find your stuff for the entirety of the off season?
Yeah. yardsperfantasy.com, or even better, you can find Yards Per Fantasy on YouTube. That's where any content that I do is going to be right there, and I always post on Twitter, _Johnson FF.
Is that me again?
I think so.
My Wi-Fi is not cooperating, ladies and gentlemen. So if I leave you here with Alex, just behave yourselves. There's all kinds of good stuff on Yards Per Fantasy. And if I could be so bold, I would say even shows where the content was from earlier this season, shows that Alex and I did are still pretty entertaining. So, you want a little chuckle, you want to relive what happened in like week 10 or something like that. It's good stuff. Trust me.
Are they
Uh,
chuckling at our terrible jokes, or are they chuckling at our terrible takes?
well, they're chuckling at our picks aren't terrible. We have one of the best percentages in all of fantasy football. I mean,
That's right, officially.
our sleepers are banging. Our starts and sits on Sunday mornings are banging. Speaking of sleepers, when are we doing that show this week?
That show this week is going to be on Friday.
We're going to do it on
the
Friday.
Yeah.
We'll do it live. So Friday we will have sleepers and take some questions from the chat. Happy Festivus, Jamie. And we'll get you all set up. It's championship week, so I don't know how pertinent the sleepers will be, but they might be possibly more heavily rostered this week. Like, I'm not going to pull out any 0%ers like I usually do. But that will be over on the Yards Per Fantasy Network on YouTube on Friday night at 9:15 or 9:30.
Yeah, whenever Sam shows up.
Whenever I show up and then Alex actually presses go.
Yeah.
All right. This is championship week. We don't have time to screw around. So let's get down to brass tacks here. I figure we should probably jump right into some injuries. Kittle in the bloodbath last night. That was a great game. Injured his ankle in the second quarter. They said it's too early to tell the severity. We know Kittle's a little bit fragile. So I don't know if they're going to take it easy on him and rest him for 1 week or not. But Lamar Jackson is another story. I think anybody that has made the championship with Lamar Jackson at the helm is probably not going to have him. They're saying he's day to day, but he couldn't come in. Couldn't come back in the game this week. So I don't know. I mean, how bad does that hurt, Alex?
Well, I mean, he was pretty underwhelming for most of the year anyway. If you've been relying on Lamar Jackson as your starting quarterback and you made it to championship week, I think it's going to be fine. You'll be fine without him. You'll be okay.
Yeah,
you'll be okay.
I agree with that. I agree. Not so awesome for people like you is that Travion Henderson is a little banged up, and he couldn't play in the second half on Sunday. He's also considered I think he's day to day too, right?
Well, he's in concussion protocol.
He got bumped on the noggin. So that's a good question, and I think it's at this point you pretty much got to say against the Jets, if Travion can't go, Ramondre Stevenson is a slam start.
League winner.
You agree?
Yeah, he could be your league winner this week. He could be the guy who's the key to it all. Against the Jets,
yeah,
game script should be in their favor. They're going to lean heavily on Ramondre, especially with where they got multiple receivers who are going to be out in this game as well.
Yeah, and I think even maybe if the two of them play, they might be both startable in the championship for their respective teams. Because if they do go up, then maybe they want to rest Travion the rest of the way. And let Ramondre just kind of take over. Quinshon Judkins is gone. He broke his leg and dislocated his ankle. It was not pretty. I do not recommend going to see it. I'm getting phone calls in the middle of the stream. Man's work is never done.
That's all right. I caught your phone talking back to you before we started.
Yeah, I said, you go bye-bye, and I took you off the screen, and Google AI popped up and was like, okay, have a good night. And I was like, I'm not talking to you, dude. Jordan Love also has a concussion. He's in protocol. He's unsure to play at the Ravens on Saturday. We know anytime it shortens up by a day, that's bad news. This is, I mean, I was saying to Alex, it's so apropos for this season for the championship week, just to be absolutely littered with injuries. I guess on the bright side, that is that, the favorites don't always win. So it's going to come down to who manages their roster the right way and who sneaks the right guys into the lineup. Speaking of which, before we go back on some injuries, what's your feelings about that? When you get down to this point, at what point do you, Alex, put more stock in matchups versus like the guy that got you there? Like if you got somebody who's not as good of a running back playing against Tennessee, or you can play Kenneth Walker against the Cleveland Browns. How do you manage that?
It really is a case-to-case basis. I mean, in a situation, if I have Kenneth Walker, he's so volatile that, I'm okay sitting him matchup based. If we're talking like guy who got me there is, CeeDee Lamb, I'm not sitting him for anybody.
Of course
but,
not.
we have a guy like, I was going to use Michael Wilson as an example, but he's got a great matchup this week. He plays the Bengals.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, I mean, typically, if I have a guy who's been performing for me week in, week out, and I'm comfortable with that, he's been a plug and play guy for me every week. I'm not sitting that guy. I'm not going to get too cute with it, essentially, because that's backfired on me before. I've done that. I've been like, all right, I'm gonna fully lean into the matchups here. There's so much more that goes into it than just a matchup. There's so many more factors. You can get yourself overthinking at that point. And it comes with a lot of regret if you get it wrong.
Yeah. What's up, Pac? And for you guys that have some questions in the chat, we'll take a couple pauses here and there as we go back and answer some. So hang loose. Yeah, in Arizona, and I wanted to say something about the Cardinals. This is a situation where the Cardinals have a great matchup. They're playing against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is bad against the run, bad against the pass. They're just bad on defense. But I think you need to weigh the uncertainty of who really, like, can you say definitively who's going to get the ball? Like, are you going to say, I know Michael Carter is getting the ball this week, so I'm going to play him? When Imari DeMarcado just came back from injury and he might start to cut into some of those snaps. So that's a situation where I don't think you would favor the matchup versus somebody that maybe the matchup is a little more neutral, but they, they're going to get the ball 25 times, or 20 times, let's say. So yeah, you have to be careful about that and not like Alex was saying, not outsmart yourself by tinkering too much. Let's pop back to a couple of these other ones. McCarthy is out, Brosmer's in. Gosh, there's so many quarterbacks. Devontae Adams kind of needs to come back for a lot of teams, I think. I think there's a lot of people that have been relying on his ability to make it into the end zone, don't you?
Yeah, I have been. I've got a team that has a nice Stafford Devontae stack, and we'd love to get Devontae back championship week.
Well, yeah, especially against the Falcons.
Yeah,
that's a great matchup. So here's hoping he'll be back. We made a case last week that the Chiefs were going to be okay without Patrick Mahomes. Well, they only had Minshew for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And what's the other guy's name? I'd never heard of him before.
Chris Oludekon? Question mark.
Is it spelled with a question mark?
I believe it is. Who knows? I've never heard of him. Never seen the guy. I don't know if he even exists. I've seen his name on a sheet, and that's about it.
Me too. And that worries me because, you might get like Rashee Rice back from concussion this week, and that would be a good thing normally. But like Travis Kelce last week had one catch for like 4 yards.
Yeah.
So,
and then so you're getting, or even if they come back, right? Even if Rice is back, are you playing him? Because one, he's got Chris, who knows his name, throwing the ball against the Broncos defense on a short week.
God, they're going to murder that kid.
I know. They're just you got Rashee Rice. If you got Rashee Rice, you got Travis Kelce. Just tell them, keep that bench warm. Keep that bench warm. That's what you do this week. I'm going to find somebody else to plug in my lineup.
Boo, did you see that Angie said hi to you? I just want to make sure everybody's getting along in the chat. What else we got? Jordan Mason was expected to take a little more of the load, and then he turned around and left the game and left it all in Aaron Jones's hands, who, frankly, this year has looked better than Mason in general. I don't know if I think it's going to be a long shot for him to play, but I don't know how many people are really relying on Jordan Mason at this point. Maybe earlier in the season when Jones was out. But there's some other ones. Josh Allen's got a foot, but he should be okay. McCarthy is probably out. Minshew on the IR. Mariota, I think, is expected to play. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Alvin Kamara might be back. Josh Jacobs has the usual knee thing. Woody Marks might be back. Dylan Sampson is an interesting one because he could be in a very startable position in place of Judkins. Because even though Trayvon Williams got more carries than him the first time Judkins went out, I don't think that they're ready to just give it over to Trayvon. They picked him up halfway through the season. So Dylan Sampson could be really interesting, especially in PPR leagues. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we've seen him make some explosive plays a few times this year. Remember the first couple of weeks, he was like the hot waiver wire ad at running back before Judkins got into the mix. And then he had, was it Shador's first start? He had like a 51-yard catch and run touchdown on a screen or something. So he's a guy, you get him out there, you get him the football in some space against a Steelers defense that's a little susceptible to some big plays this year. Dylan Sampson, if he's back, if he's in there, he's got to be on the list. He might be, if he's back, I'm claiming him for our sleeper show.
You're what? All right, fair enough. You see, you're claiming him now. I see. Next year, we're going to be like calling each other 4 weeks in advance. Like, in 4 weeks, I'm taking this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's pop into the chat here for a minute. We got
Howdy Joe,
the infamous Howdy Joe. Howdy Joe is in a half PPR league. He's got Dowdle, RJ, Emmanuel, Michael Carter, Ramondre, and suggest a wide receiver on the waiver wire now since DK is suspended. So I don't know if you is there a question about those running backs, as in like who to play, or you're saying I've got to drop one of these to get? Well, no, you're just going to drop DK if it's championship week. But I will say, I mean, I'll go ahead and say that I think it's RJ and Ramondre for me. How about for you if you were picking two of those running backs?
Is that what we're doing? We're picking two?
I don't know. I'm just talking while he tells me what he wants.
I never know like what goes.
You can skip straight to the wide receiver. Pick someone blindly.
You're gonna make me answer that
off of his waivers.
I never know what goes into these people's minds when they ask these questions that are so open-ended that they're just impossible to answer.
Well, they're no ice cold OG Jones.
I was just gonna say we gotta introduce Haughty Joe and OG Jones, ice cold OG Jones. I cannot believe you just pulled that out of my head. Anyway, we do too many shows together. I think we're just reading minds now. Random wide receivers off the waiver wire, not knowing your waiver wire, your league, who's available. Jalen Coker.
I'm gonna assume it's a 12-teamer, probably.
How about all right, well, we got Jalen Coker potentially. Trey Harris. Yeah. I know you laughed at him when I talked about Trey Harris last week, but he put up 9 points, even with Quentin Johnston back. Mac Hollins, who we talked about on our sleeper show, went out and had 7
Dude,
catches for
wanna
79
put
yards.
you want to play Mac Hollins in a fantasy championship game?
If this guy's playing in a legitimate league, that might be one of his only choices on the waiver wire. He's got to pick a guy up off the waiver wire. I don't know. I mean, I'd rather play, George Pickens, but I don't think he's available on your waiver wire. But Mac Hollins, I mean, he's got the volume. We talked about, like I said, we talked about on the sleeper show. We talked about the role that he had been playing, kind of leading up to that big game he had. He's got the Jets this week. They're going to be without Kayshon Boutte. They're going to be without Demario Douglas. I think Mac Hollins is a legitimate play, and when we talked about him on Saturday, he was available in 3% of leagues. So he's available in most leagues. He's rostered in 3% of leagues. So he's available in most leagues.
I will throw out 2 really boring names, but they might be available. One is Cooper Kupp. He's 41% rostered. They're going against Carolina, which isn't the most ideal matchup, but Cooper Kupp is always, at least, he's going to be targeted. He's going to be targeted pretty often, especially since Shaheed hasn't really done much on the field, aside from running kicks back like a madman. And the other one I was going to mention is a lot of people in a lot of leagues have dropped Alec Pierce. He's down to 50%. And if you saw last night, he and Rivers seem to have a connection. So I would say those are 2 pretty good ones too. Never mind Pat Bryant.
Pat Bryant's on a. We're not going to see Pat Bryant for a while.
No, I don't think so. Okay, let's see if he pops back in here. Maybe he was like, I'll hang up and listen to your answer. Pack is here. Good friend of the show, good friend of the hopefuls. He needs to start 3 in half PPR. Michael Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, Rico Dowdle, and Michael Carter. Well, we're starting Wilson, right?
Yeah, we're starting Wilson, starting AJ Brown against the Bills.
We are? Oh, against the Bills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. He's been hot. He's been hot over the last month or so. AJ Brown's back. Yeah. So we're playing him. And then I think it comes down to another receiver. I'm not really that interested in these running backs.
I'm not either.
I don't know if I can do McLaurin. If we get Marcus Mariota, I'm tempted to play McLaurin. If it's Josh Johnson, I'll pass. Sutton is interesting. He's coming off a big game, but he's been hit or miss this year. He got a tough matchup this week against the Chiefs, in a game that's probably going to be really low scoring. So I mean, I think they both play on Thursday. So we'll know the quarterback situation for the Commanders. If Mariota's playing, I think I'll go McLaurin over Sutton. Otherwise, let's play Sutton.
Okay, I think I would go Sutton regardless.
I'm fine with that.
In this situation, just because it's a divisional game, they desperately want to put another hurting on the Chiefs. So I don't think they're going to let their foot off the gas. But yeah, Wilson, AJ Brown, slam dunks. Sutton, McLaurin. I do like what Alex said. If it's Mariota, McLaurin's okay. If it's Josh Johnson, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, this poor Christmas slate, man. We're gonna get Josh Johnson. We're gonna get Chris ? I just don't know. And then we got another. Who's the other? the other game is another backup quarterback in that game too. I can't even remember who the game is. We're gonna get Max Brosmer. Like, pick the 3 worst quarterbacks in the league, and you're gonna get a watch
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, football fans! You must be so thrilled.
I think the Grinch made the schedule this year.
Let me see. What else? Amon-Ra St. Brown hurt his knee. I did not even know that. But I'm assuming, because it's just kind of listed, that it must not be serious. Rashid Rice, Ricky Pearsall, nobody's playing him. And if he does come back, don't play him unless you have to. Roma Dunze, I don't think will be there. Luther Burden probably will. Romeo Daubs, I'm not interested in. What do you think about? So are you saying DeMario and Kayshawn are both going to be out?
It's looking that way. So Demario Douglas, I believe he hurt his hamstring. He didn't come back. I think he hurt it in the first half, never came back. And then Booty has a concussion. So I would say more likely than not, we're gonna be without both of those guys this week.
Right. And obviously Metcalf is out. Kittle is a wait and see. Njoku, I don't think anybody's playing him anyway. Mason Taylor's been out for what seems like forever with his neck injury. But they said that he was going to try to come back last week. Either way, this is the type of situation that scares me for a championship game. Even if he was your most reliable player at the position, there's going to be rust there, right?
Are you still talking about Mason Taylor?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you still talking about Mason? If Mason Taylor's been your best tight end all year, you're not in the championship game.
Okay, not your best, but maybe. Okay.
You said best.
Okay, I didn't mean. There are some leagues where people have crummy tight ends.
Okay. And those teams are watching the playoffs from
Okay, I stand corrected. You're right. Just come on to my show and tell me I'm an idiot.
Can always count on it.
Michael Lewis is here, and he's thinking of using Swift over Javonte.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind that at all.
You don't mind that, huh?
I'm looking at my rankings right now. I made them today. I have DeAndre Swift 1 slot ahead of Javonte Williams, so I'm totally cool with that. I'm rolling with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I kind of like it too, because the 49ers are not real hard on the run or anything. Although I'm surprised that Jonathan Taylor did not capitalize a little more yesterday.
Well, I mean, they got behind from the get-go. I think they just had to throw it. They knew they couldn't keep up with that 49ers offense, so they were just throwing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But when you've got Phillip Rivers, and the jury was still out at that point, and you've got a guy in Jonathan Taylor that honestly could score from anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. This is why we should be coaching.
Yeah. Well, I know you've had issues in over the last few weeks, you've talked about the Ravens' usage of Derrick Henry, and then we saw what they did or didn't do at the end of the game on Sunday night. It's the same deal. Like, why are you not getting that guy the ball? In that
Again,
situation, if Derrick Henry buried them, he put them up 24-13 in the fourth quarter of that game. I don't remember seeing him again after that point.
well, I know he was on the sideline for a good chunk of that. Yeah, I just don't I don't get it.
No.
I still really like Javonte against Washington, but I've got no issues with Swift either. I think this is kind of a coin flip question. It's a go with your gut. Which one do you think is going to have the better shot at getting into the end zone? So, and for me, I think that's Javonte.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, they're going against the Commanders, so
yeah,
can't argue with the matchup.
Yeah, I just feel like the Bears have so many different ways that they target the end zone in the red zone. So
yeah, very true.
Howdy Joe, here's what we need to know. Yes, Alex, we got to do it.
It's the rewind button.
It's championship week.
It's the rewind button.
We have to know. So are you deciding between those running backs? And then I know you need to drop Metcalf and get a receiver, but what do the running backs have to do with this?
And can you give us at least a couple guys
I'm gonna
to pick
hang
from
up
the waiver wire?
Right. Yeah, and give us a couple names on the waiver wire. I could use Javonte and Superflex over Bryce Young and use them both. No, play the quarterback. Play the quarterback. But I like where your head's at. I just think that Javonte and Swift are pretty close, not like they're both gonna just go off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Making it so you have to put them both in. I'm just saying you can choose either one, and I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, they're like I said, I have them ranked back to back, so it's a coin flip.
Yeah, it's your team, Michael. Trust your gut, brother. All right, I think that's about it for injuries. We talked a little bit. Oh, that's true. Bryce is playing against Seattle.
No, play the quarterback.
Play the quarterback?
Play the quarterback.
Listen to the man. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Cha-ching. Okay, so we talked injuries to death. We've answered a couple questions. We went over a little bit of the philosophy of whether or not to lean into matchups as opposed to whether that's just tinkering too much, and you should be relying on the guys that got you there. I learned that the hard way last week. I had Stafford start for me all season, and I benched him for Jacoby Brissett. And Stafford threw 4 touchdowns. So
how did it work out?
It was not a proud moment.
How did it work out in the league that you forgot to start Kenneth Walker? Did he make it?
In the Kenneth Walker League, oh, I had I had Purdy, McCaffrey, and Jennings in that game. I lost by 5.
Oh no! If you remember to set your lineup. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
That one hurts.
So
That one hurts.
yeah, it's not good. It's not real good. I'll tell you what we got to talk about. We have to talk about fast draft. For anybody that's ever watched this show, you know that I love fast draft. It is really, really fun to play. It is inexpensive, and it's going places, man. This week they have the normal Flex Six Frenzy and the Quick Six Super Slam, where you pick any 6 players you want, put them into a lineup, and you're just playing against other people. No bots, no professionals, none of that shit. On top of that, there is also going to be a Quick Six Super Slam that is available now for the entirety of the NFL playoffs. So you pick 6 players for the NFL playoffs and you just let it go. They'll for all intents and purposes, the longer they stay in, the better you do. So you're also kind of, predicting how you think the playoffs are going to play out. In addition to that, there's one more game, believe it or not. This is the way too early game. You can right now do the Quick Six Origins, which is rookies from 2026. You don't even have to wait for them to be drafted. You can bet them right now, but there will be numerous Origin leagues throughout the offseason. In addition to that, Fast Draft is looking at doing some other stuff with racing, golf, also talking about maybe some pop culture stuff. But let me let Podfather tell you about the new games that just opened this week.
Oh, big news. Fast Draft has 2 best ball tournaments live right now. The Origins All Rookie game for 2026. That's right. 2026 best ball is upon us. All rookies with Origins, $10,000 prize pool. And then we have our playoff Super Slam. You just pick 6 guys for the entire NFL playoffs and you let it ride. That one also has a $10,000 prize pool. Yes, things are happening at Fast Draft. The code is FAST to get a $50 deposit match. Let's go.
So there you have it. Things are happening. And like I said, there are still the 2 normal contests for this weekend, the Frenzy and the Super Slam. That does not include the Christmas games, and it doesn't include the Monday night game. It's basically just the Sunday slate. So it's a little easier to pick out your players in that place and put them in their booster slots. I know he said fast, but use this promo code. That one right there. It says WHIP. Use that one. We'll match you dollar for dollar out of Alex's pocket up to $50. Right, Alex?
You're welcome. You are welcome.
Oh, man. Okay. We can go over waivers. Is there anybody that you're seeing on waivers right now that you're like, this is a championship game option.
I'm sorry, I was picking 6 players.
He's doing fast draft right now, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, it's cheap. Some of the games are $5, some of the games are $10, and the prize pool is 10 grand.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to win the 10 grand, so no bother.
I don't think so.
What was your question?
My question is there anybody, because we usually do waivers on Tuesdays, we're down to a very few teams that are probably going to be hitting the waiver wire. Is there anybody that you've seen, even like 60% or lower that's probably available or might be available, that's like an instant, he would be an instant option for a championship team?
So we mentioned Jalen Coker earlier. He's still available in quite a bit of leagues. He could be a guy. I mean, he's operating now as the clear wide receiver 2 in that offense. He's had some good weeks recently. He's had some weeks of he's finished in the top 30, top 25 wide receivers. I can't remember who they're playing this week. Was it the Seahawks? Yeah. So there could be some points scored in that game. It's a little bit of a difficult matchup, but there could be some points scored in that game. If you're in need of a wide receiver, you could look at Jalen Coker. We mentioned Mac Hollins earlier. I don't know Hunter Henry's rostership percentage at this point. It's probably around 80%. He's probably pretty high. But we mentioned the players who are going to be out with the Patriots this week. They have the Jets. Hunter Henry is a guy who hasn't really had a whole lot of production as of late. I mean, he was more consistent earlier in the season, but he's a guy who can pop up for some tight end 1 weeks once in a while. And if we could look a little bit deeper, if Woody Marks is out again, Jawar, I don't know how to say his name. Jawar.
It's Jawhar.
Jordan. He's been getting touches, and even he significantly out-touched Nick Chubb.
And Nick Chubb got the start.
Yeah. So Chubb came back. Woody Marks was out. And Jordan, he ended up with significantly more touches than Nick Chubb did. He's not super efficient, but he showed us the prior week that he does have some explosiveness. He had like a 51-yard run or something when Marks originally went down. I believe I saw a report that Woody Marks did return to practice today, but he had some limited practices last week and still ended up out. And you know how these things go, have a re-aggravation in the week or pre warm-ups or whatever. So Jordan, he could be a guy that's probably very available across leagues, and you could pick him up.
Yes, he is, because I think he was only 3% last week. Jawar.
I hear this? Something's happening. Something's happening in my ears. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh. You know it's week 17 when we just start playing music. We got nothing else to talk about.
Well, we don't even have to fill time because I mean we can just stop whenever we want. I'm pretty sure most of the people from the chat already left. They're like, all right, I got my answers. I got my questions answered. I'm good. Yeah, I think Jawar Jordan is good. I will go back and remind anybody watching this later that also, or the 63 people watching online right now, that Dylan Sampson, if he is active for the Browns, I think that's a really good play. I think Travion Williams will only give him a rest, but Sampson catches passes. So too does Jawar. I think he's caught 4 in each of the last 2 games. So take a look at those guys if you need to. Wide receivers, just remember, if you're going through and looking for a wide receiver to pick up in desperation because you lost DK Metcalf or because somebody got pronounced out that you weren't expecting, look at their targets. Look at their target share and how many targets they've been getting last couple games. If they're getting 3, you don't want that in your championship game. You want the guy that's getting thrown at 8 times, 9 times, and so on. Would you agree with that, Alex?
Yeah. I didn't hear the question. I wasn't paying attention. What was the question?
Were you picking your 6 players again?
I was trying to submit it, and it's having a hard time.
I obviously talk too much. As soon as I start talking, Alex is like, okay, well, I got some time.
Well, you brought it up. You brought up the game. I'm like, all right, I got to get into this thing.
That's true. You do. Everybody needs to get in. Get in. Fast draft. Promo code WHIP. Do it. All right, Alex, we're up against it. You got anything else?
Bill? What do you think about Bill? Are you in on Bill this week against the Cowboys? Started to get a few more touches over the last few weeks. It's a good matchup.
If
you're in a desperate situation?
Is Rodriguez dead?
No, he's okay. He's still getting some touches, but I don't know. I just throwing it out there as a random, guy who's, if you're in a deeper league, you might just throw a flyer on Bill.
Yeah.
51%. He's down to 51% rostership at this point. He's got a good matchup. Like I said, he's had some additional touches in the last 2 weeks. Again, I don't know how interested I am in playing him if it's Josh Johnson, but just the name that came to mind for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Samaje Perine is out touching. Out touching Chase Brown in Cincinnati, believe it or not. And they're playing Arizona this week, who is not really hard on the run. And he scored a touchdown last week. Alex, tell everybody where they can find you one more time before we get out of here.
Twitter, you can find me AE_JohnsonFF. But I'd rather you find me on YouTube at Yards Per Fantasy, or you can find yardsperfantasy.com. You can find my rankings and such there. That's pretty much it.
I am buy and sell you on Twitter. That is all one word, at buy and sell you. You can look up previous episodes of Fantasy Whiplash. Alex and I will do our Sleepers show on Friday at 9:00. you can just go on YouTube, search Yards Per Fantasy, and it'll be there. It'll tell you that we're starting at 9 and that it's live. And we have a really good time on that show. The chat is always jumping, and we answer some questions, especially, since it's Friday, we'll answer questions for Saturday games. And then on Sunday morning or Sunday at noon, we do a start and sit before the games commence. And we answer. How many questions do we answer?
Oh, usually it's like 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think it's all of them. All of them.
Oh, it's all of them.
All of them.
Every single question.
And you know what I want to say? I'm looking in the camera. I expect to see Haughty Joe in that chat. I want to see you there, Haughty Joe.
The gauntlet has been thrown. Now, if we could just get ice cold OG Jones there.
Yes, ice cold OG Jones was eliminated weeks ago. I don't know what happened.
He's sitting somewhere right now going, did you hear that?
His ears are ringing.
At least, we know that we will have Amazon pancakes. So
absolutely.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I may or may not be here next week to talk to people who have those weird leagues where they play a championship when none of their players are playing. Maybe I'll just be here to convince you not to let this happen again.
Just have a campaign.
Right. Alex, once again, thanks for coming on the show, man. Appreciate it. And I will see you on Friday for the real deal.